Hey everyone, Niev here, and today I am doing a bit of a haul because my birthday was October 1st, which has been almost a month now, and I was so lucky this year, and I got a lot of great items, most of them witchcraft themed, so that's why I'm doing a bit of a witchcraft birthday haul here. And this is really, what I'm going to show in this video is actually not everything that I've received, because some of the items haven't come in yet. One item was a pre-order item that has now been released, but I think they sold more than what they had, I think. So I have no idea when one item is going to get here. And a couple other items had to be made, so they're not here yet. But anyway, so I figured I would do, instead of continuing to wait for those items to come in, I'll do a video now and go through some of the things I've gotten. And then later on, maybe, you know, hopefully before Christmas, I'll have everything else and I can do a little mini haul of those items. So anyway, I got some great books, I got cards, I got candles and stones and other cool items. So let's dive into it. So with the books first, I received 3 lovely books here, and the first on my list here is Fairycraft by Morgan Daimler, Following the Path of Fairy Witchcraft, which is definitely it is something that really calls to me. I've always been connected to the fairy realm, the fairies, the good people. Yeah, so, and if there's one path of witchcraft that really calls to me the most, it's fairy witchcraft. And there's lots of different types of fairy witchcraft out there. There's the Anderson fairy witchcraft, which I'm also interested in and might be considering doing a, like, going through their lesson plan and eventually going through initiation on Anderson Fairy. But that form of witchcraft is very different. It's not so much focused on the fairies and the fairy realm, the good people, whereas Morgan Daimler's path is. And I'm kind of looking for maybe a combination of the two, or using Anderson Fairy as my, you know, initiated path, but then furthering that focus into folklore fairycraft. And Morgan Daimler's books and her path is much more centered in folklore and especially Irish fairies and things like that. So, and that's right up my alley, and I cannot wait to read this. I've kind of skimmed through it a little bit, read here or there. I do have some of her other books on my Kindle. So yeah, I also want to get Living Fairy, which is coming out I think in the beginning of December, so maybe I'll get that as a Christmas gift. I don't know. And to add to this, I also have her Fairy Witchcraft book, which I actually, it wasn't a hardcover book, but I bound it hardcover. So I do have her Fairy Witchcraft book, which was also good. But yeah, so, and this is a Pagan Portals book, so these ones are shorter. Anyway, so that's Fairycraft. And what's in here, we have, like, I'll go through the table of contents. So it starts off the fairy courts, then there's an introduction, beliefs, gods, fairy etiquette and protections, the other crowd and ancestors, tools and ritual space, holidays and prayers, rituals and practices, stones, plants and animals, magic, dreaming and meditations, and living witchcraft. And then, of course, there's a conclusion, resources, terms, bibliography, and endnotes. So, yeah, so I'm really excited to get into that one. All right, so this is another book by Morgan Daimler, and this is more of a reference book, since this is a new dictionary of fairies, a 21st century exploration of Celtic and related Western European fairies by Morgan Daimler. And this one's quite a larger book, and I have already started reading some of this. That's why there's a bookmark in it. But this is, you know, I don't know if it's quite the type of book that you read from cover to cover, more so something, because it's separated into alphabetically the types of fairies, good folk, eshi, etc. So, and it includes the fair folk from various mythologies, various folklores, not just Irish or Welsh or Scottish, but also a bit of Norse, because we have the elves here. Yeah, so I definitely, but there's a lot of great stories in here about these creatures, so it may be a book that I would just read from cover to cover. So yeah, I'm real excited about this one. And, you know, I gotta say about, you know, the whole fairy fairy witchcraft books, is that this is, like I said, this is a path that I have always felt connected to. I've always felt connected to the good people, because I've had experiences with them in the past. So when it comes to my belief in fairies, my belief in deities is something it's kind of ever evolving, and, you know, sometimes I'm a bit more atheistic, and then other times I'm kind of like a hard polytheist, and it's hard to put my belief in deities in the confines of labels, right? Whereas when it comes to the fair folk, the good people, the good neighbors, fairies, that's something that my belief has just never wavered in. It's never, I've always believed in the fairies, whatever you want to call them, whatever euphemism you want to use. I've always believed in them, and but I think the issue that I've had through my 20 plus years of practicing witchcraft is I just never came across the right books when it came to fairy witchcraft. And I feel incredibly lucky to have finally found Morgan Daimler's work, because it really hits the nail on the head for me, and I feel like I can properly research and practice my fairy witchcraft now, if that makes sense. So let's move on, because I feel like I could talk forever about that. So the last book I got, physical book I got, was What Is Remembered Lives by Phoenix LaFaye. And so developing relationships with deities, ancestors, and the Fae. So, I mean, this is not what I really wanted to get into with this book. It had less to do with the connections to the fairy realm and things like that, because I feel like I'm getting that with Morgan Daimler's work, though I am interested in reading what Phoenix's views are on this, and yeah, but it's also the ancestor work, and that's honestly the main reason I got this book, was the ancestor work, because I am starting to get a lot more connected with working with my ancestors in a spiritual context, because I've always been connected to my ancestors in the sense that one of my passions is genealogy, and genetic genealogy as well as just regular genealogy. It's something that I can spend days doing, just locked up, not doing anything else but like genealogy. And my dad and I have put together our tree that has tens of thousands of people in it. and I'm very into DNA, genetic genealogy. In fact, I have another whole channel about genealogy and genetic genealogy. So it's a big passion of mine, and I've really wanted to incorporate that into my spirituality. And so I've really started to get into ancestor veneration and remembering our ancestors in a more spiritual context, if that makes sense. So, but there's a lot of other great information in here about, you know, connecting with deities as well as the Fae. So I'm looking forward to reading this book. All right, so those are the books that I have. I do have a deck of cards here, and I'm bringing in 2 decks, but one of them I already had. The other one is the new one. So the new deck I got was the Druid Plant Oracle, and oh boy, am I excited about this. Now, years ago, probably about 6 years ago, I acquired the Druid Animal Oracle deck. And that is because my friend and I, when I was still living in California, she got me the Druid Animal Oracle deck, and I got her the Druid Plant Oracle. So, so we each had the other deck. You know, I had the animal one, she had the plant one. But then I moved, and so I wanted to get the Plant Oracle, so that I had both decks now. But this had gone out of print, and I could not get my hands on the Druid Plant Oracle. I don't know why it went out of print. This one was still in print, the smaller version here, because this is obviously a bigger version, packaging. But yeah, I didn't have the Druid Plant Oracle, and I couldn't get my hands on it. But when I was putting together my wish list for my birthday, I checked. I was like, let's see if the Druid Plant Oracle has come back into stock, come back into print, because I've checked on and off over the past 6 years, and it, you know, out of print, out of print, out of print. Finally, it was in print, so I added that to my wish list. I put it as one of my top priority items, and thankfully my sister-in-law was very kind and got me the Druid Plant Oracle. So I'm so excited about this, and I will be, oops, let me open this correctly here. So I will be going through and doing a kind of a quick walkthrough of the deck. Oh, I love the smell of books. So I will be doing a quick walkthrough of the deck. I haven't even messed with these yet because I wanted to wait to, there's even the plastic thing still around this, because I wanted to do a proper walkthrough of this deck on my channel. Yeah, and it also comes with this mat where you can lay cards down in a spread. So I'm very excited to kind of complete this collection here, and I love Will Worthington's and Philip and Stephanie Cargom, their decks. I think they have wonderfully beautiful druidic decks, and it's definitely something that I connect with. All right, so on those same lines, I also have 2 Ogham sets here to talk about. Oh, and I got a little bug on this. So this one is my old one, and this one is my new one that I got for my birthday from my husband. So my old one, and the reason why I got a new one to replace this. And this is a great company that I'll leave a link to down below. They're an Etsy shop, and here are the old ones here. And these are each individual Ogham that is inscribed, that's burned onto the corresponding tree. So it's the correct Ogham with the correct tree, if that makes sense. And there's a hole drilled into it with a cord so that I can wear some of these as a necklace. So I can use them in divination or however I plan to use them, but I can also wear wear them as a necklace for added power or whatever. So the reason why I got a new deck, and I'll keep this one, but I don't plan to use it very much. And the reason is because when my husband bought this deck for me, and this was also for a birthday probably about 5 years ago, the company only, I think it was Green Women Witchcraft or Green Women Craft or something like that. It's an Etsy shop. They only operated out of the UK, and that's fine. And we had these shipped, but they were destroyed in the mail because customs, they had the bark around them. And I don't know why, but customs was like, you know, this, you can't bring that in. So they destroyed my package. They sent me a note. I sent that note to the company. They were very kind and decided to send me a replacement where they shaved off all of the bark instead. They shaved off all of the bark and they sent that, and that worked perfectly, and it was great, and I love them and I use them. But my dog got a hold of them and destroyed several pieces. And this is like almost like, this is a teeny tiny one, and this was destroyed almost in half. This one's been chewed up and destroyed. This one's been chewed up. And this was a previous dog, not our current one, but yeah, unfortunately our dog at the time had gotten a hold of my set of OM sticks and kind of destroyed several of them. So they were almost unusable for me, and have been so since then. So but I still, like, some of these are still in perfect shape and are just fine. And I love these, but I wanted to get a new set. And the company opened up a shop in the United States. So that's fantastic. And they named it something else, but it is the same shop. They have this shop as well as the shop in the UK. They're both called something different, but they are the same shop. It's just one operates in the US, one operates in the UK. So I put that set on my wish list, and my husband was very kind to get me a new set of OM staves, and this one has the bark on it, and I have them all on the cord right now. But these are beautiful, stunning. There's none that's as skinny as that small one in there. I love these. I think they're beautiful, and some of them still have like the bark on them, and these are all the corresponding trees to each OM stave. And yeah, I love this, and I'm planning on blessing this tomorrow on Samhain. Yeah, I love it. So thank you, hubby. All right. So the last thing I'm going to show in this video is just on my altar. Well, it's actually on my Morrigan altar. And that is the new candle I got. And it's just a lovely red candle. And it's like a 3 by 6 inch pillar candle, because I wanted a devotional candle for the Morrigan. And yeah, I love it. And I also got, also on this altar, this awesome red cauldron, ceramic cauldron that I'm using to put my the sage and dragon's blood incense stick that I got in one of the Witch's Roots boxes. I couldn't remember the name. One of the Witch's Roots boxes, I got this item, and I put that in my new little red cauldron, which I love so much. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. I do have some other items. Some of them are here, but this video is long enough, so I'm going to put them in the next video that I do when the other items come in. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful Samhain. It's snowing right now here. I can't believe it, but it's already snowing in New England. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Blessed be. Bye.